Been scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, bookmarking all those dreamy design trends? I see you. But before you go all in, here's a heads up. What looks like a timeless choice today might already be on its way out this 2025. And not just because of style changes. Some of these come with hidden downsides that make them more trouble than they're worth. Let's dive into the biggest design trends that might not be as cool as they seem. Lighting choices. Lighting can make or break your space, but some of these trends, they're breaking more than just the vibe. For example, a chandelier above the bathtub might exude luxury, but it's also a serious safety hazard. Most building codes require light fixtures to be at least 8 feet above the tub, or 3 feet away horizontally to prevent electrocution risks. Even moisture-resistant fixtures must be properly rated. Plus, condensation buildup can shorten the lifespan of electrical components, leading to potential fire hazards. Water and electricity? Yeah, they don't mix. Don't make your bathroom a Final Destination set. Then there are exposed Edison bulbs. The industrial aesthetic may seem stylish, but their drawbacks outweigh their charm. It has low lumens per watt, meaning they produce less light while consuming more energy compared to modern LEDs. Their harsh, direct glare causes high contrast lighting, which can lead to eye strain and headaches, especially in work or reading spaces. Prioritizing safety and efficiency in lighting design will not only enhance your space, but also prevent unnecessary hazards. So, unless you're into poor lighting and mild electrocution, it's time to rethink these choices. Hazard-prone. Minimalist guys, this one's for you. We get it. Floating staircases look sleek, but you know what else they are? A lawsuit waiting to happen. Without railings or visible supports, they create poor depth perception, increasing the risk of falls, especially in dim lighting. The National Safety Council reports that stairs are a leading cause of household injuries, and adding an open design only makes missteps more likely. Floating stairs also pose a challenge for young children, the elderly, and even pets, making your stylish choice a daily hazard for anyone who isn't extra cautious. While low-profile furniture is visually clean, it could be physically unforgiving. Sitting too low forces your body and puts extra strain on your lower back and knees, especially as you age. Constantly bending down or struggling to get up can be exhausting over time. Research shows that poor sitting posture contributes to chronic pain. Aesthetics are great, but not when they send you or your guests to the ER. At some point, form has to follow function, because no one wants their design choices to come with a built-in injury risk. Countertop and backsplash. DIY epoxy countertops? I respect the hustle, but unless you're a pro, they rarely turn out like the glossy Pinterest photos. Epoxy might start off looking smooth, but it's prone to scratching, yellowing from UV exposure, and uneven wear, especially in high-traffic kitchens. Plus, working with epoxy means dealing with bubbles, drips, and an unforgiving curing process, which can leave you with an uneven surface. Instead of saving money, you might end up spending more on fixes, or worse, redoing the whole thing. And let's talk about skipping a backsplash. A seamless wall sounds modern until your kitchen turns into a canvas of grease stains and sauce splatters. Without a proper backsplash, everyday cooking becomes a cleaning nightmare, as walls absorb moisture, stains, and odors over time. Even a simple, wipeable backsplash saves you from constant scrubbing sessions. DIY is great, but some things are worth doing right the first time, unless you love regret as a design aesthetic. And if you think epoxy is high maintenance, wait until we get into materials that demand even more TLC. High maintenance materials. Marble countertops seem like the ultimate flex, but what you're actually signing up for is a lifetime of stress. Marble is highly porous, meaning it stains easily from everyday things like coffee, wine, or even lemon juice. Without constant sealing, it can absorb oils and liquids, leading to permanent marks. If you're not ready for frequent upkeep, it could turn into a constant misery. A smarter choice? Quartz. It looks like marble, but is durable, non-porous, and low maintenance. Porcelain slabs are another solid option, stain-resistant and available in large formats. Still set on marble? Use it as a backsplash or an accent piece to avoid the hassle. Now, it's time to reconsider black faucets and fixtures. While they look sleek in the showroom, in real life, they highlight every water spot, fingerprint, and soap scum. These fixtures seem to demand constant cleaning, making them a hassle if you don't want to spend all your time wiping them down. If you're not into this tedious task, brushed or matte finishes are a much more practical choice. Aesthetic appeal should never cost you your sanity. Choose materials that work with your lifestyle, not against it. If you realize now that you're not a fan of constant cleaning, be careful of the next trend, because some choices may leave you with more to clean than you bargained for. All white. Let's talk about the all-white aesthetic. White upholstered furniture. The second you actually sit on it, game over. One coffee spill, one misplaced chip with salsa, or a dog with muddy paws, and suddenly you're in full panic mode. Unless you're a clean freak or fine with living under a no-eating-on-the-couch dictatorship, it's just not practical. Instead of an all-white couch, go for light beige, soft grey, or warm earth tones. They still feel bright and airy, but are way easier to maintain. You can still get that clean, airy vibe by incorporating white through paint, curtains, or accent chairs. However, if a white sofa is non-negotiable, make it practical with stain-resistant performance fabrics, or a protective layer of Scotchgard or other hydrophobic coatings. That way, you get the aesthetic without the stress every time someone sits down with a snack. And those all-white kitchens that ruled for years? They're starting to feel more like a science lab than a home. Sure, they look sharp in photos, but in real life, keeping them spotless is a full-time job. Smudges, grease stains, and dust show up instantly. And who has time to wipe down cabinets every day? More people are leaning into warmth, wood tones, earthy colors, and materials that actually hide the mess of daily life. If you're designing for Instagram, go for it. But if you want a space you can actually live in without stressing over every little smudge, it's time to rethink the all-white trend. Open plan and minimalism. Open concept. Everything had its moment, but now it's starting to lose its charm. Sure, it looks spacious, but where do you escape when you need a little peace? Noise, smells, and chaos spread like wildfire, and suddenly your entire home feels like one giant shared space. And doorless bathrooms, just why? They might look futuristic, but in reality, they're a humidity and sound nightmare. No one needs that kind of exposure. Some things are just better behind closed doors. And then there's stark minimalism. It looked cool at first, but now, some of these homes feel less like a place to live, and more like an Apple store, cold, empty, and soulless. Studies show that a well-balanced space with textures, colors, and personal elements can boost mood and reduce stress. Rugs, artwork, books. These things add character without turning your place into a cluttered mess. At the end of the day, your home should be built for comfort and function, not just for looking good in real estate photos. Well, some of the most common bachelor pad design choices might seem cool at first, but once you start living with them, you'll quickly realize why they're more frustrating than functional. And that's exactly what we're about to discuss next. Sharpness. Ultra-modern furniture with sharp corners and harsh lines is a staple in many masculine designed spaces. The clean, edgy aesthetic might give off a strong, structured vibe, but it is quickly losing its appeal. Ever cracked your shin on a coffee table with knife-like edges? That's not just a stubbed toe, it's a fight for survival. And beyond the bruises, stiff angular furniture isn't exactly made for kicking back and relaxing. There's a reason softer, rounded designs are making a comeback. They're more comfortable, less of a hazard, and still look great without feeling like a futuristic art exhibit. According to interior designer Matthew Williamson, we'll be embracing gentle curves and soft forms that evoke a sense of serenity. Studies in ergonomics also show that curved edges create a more relaxed, welcoming vibe, while harsh angles can make a space feel cold and uninviting. Want to incorporate this shift without redoing your whole place? Swap out that rigid couch for a curved sofa that instantly softens the room. Consider rounded coffee tables, curved kitchen counters, or even archways instead of standard door frames to create a more natural flow. These subtle changes make your space feel more inviting, while keeping things functional and stylish. Plus, rounded furniture reduces the risk of painful accidents. Clutch, if you tend to move a little too fast through your place, or if late-night stumbles are a thing. Unless you want your apartment to double as an obstacle course, it's worth choosing furniture that actually makes sense for how you live. Trends come and go, but the best spaces blend style and practicality. Choose wisely. A great space doesn't just look good, it feels right.